My wife of 16 years passed away. And in the aftermath, I discovered she had been unfaithful. Now I'm left grieving the love of my life while questioning everything about our marriage. Story 1. My name is Sebastian. I am 39 years old. I have been with my wife, Flora, for 16 years. 16 absolutely magical years. We met right after college, both first-year teachers at Eagle High School. I was in the math department and she was in the English department. Total cliches, I know. A bunch of us early career teachers used to go out almost every Friday night. Those were good times I wouldn't mind reliving. Both Flor, that's what I call her, and I made great friends with some of our coworkers, including a best friend for each of us. Louis was the best man in our wedding, and Joanna was her maid of honor. We rigged it so that she would get the bouquet and him the garter at our wedding reception, but they never did date. It was natural between us from the start. There was some serious chemistry. She was so attractive. I was smitten from the word go. She told me she was too, but I didn't know it. I've always been a bit oblivious. It took the entire first semester for me to finally get it together and ask her out. Her response: "You had one more week than I was asking you out in front of everyone." Almost 2 years to the day after that we got married on a beach in Puerto Rico. It was a small wedding, just family and our best friends. We came back and had an amazing party with all of our teacher friends. Life seemed to move fast from there. Flor was pregnant just after our 1-year anniversary. Then we had another 2 years later, and another 2 years after that, and then for good measure one more 2 years after that. We were pretty good at this planning thing. Our kids have turned out great, each so different yet the same. It's weird saying that, but it's true. Rachel is our oldest at 13, our only boy Wyatt is 11, Julia turns 9 in 2 days, and Hannah is 7. They just all seem to excel at everything they do. Rachel and Wyatt are so athletic, Julia is creative, and Hannah is just the funniest, sweetest little girl on the planet. Our family vacations, mostly camping trips, won't be the same anymore. Our 16 years together have been just the best time of my life. She was always so involved and extroverted. I became more of a homebody over time. She coached the cheer team forever. I still went out some with her, but she kept busy with school events, coaching, and the kids' activities. I swear I married Superwoman. Though despite our differences we never let that spark die. We had date nights, an active bedroom, and never went to bed or woke up without kisses. My favorite thing was holding her hand. I can't believe this is all over. That we will never be harbor party of 6 again. That's kind of why I am writing all this. I wanted to have a good moment, recall a few past memories. Try to remember that I was happy. 2 days ago Flora died. Brain aneurysm, just was on the treadmill at the gym when suddenly she went down. That was it, she was gone, taken from us in a flash. The kids are being stronger than they ever should have to. Kids are so resilient. I'm doing my best to keep it together in front of them. Our parents are helping, but are grieving too. Everyone loved Flora. Louis and Joanna have been over a lot checking on us. I just cannot believe this has happened. How do I go on? I know I have to for my children. I just can't picture my life without her. I do not exaggerate when I say this is the worst pain imaginable. Hopefully it lessens with time. I'm crying myself to sleep each night because I try to keep the breakdowns and sadness to a minimum so as to not trigger my children. They really need me now and I have to be the strong one and support them. I just need to get through the funeral, then we can start rebuilding our life. Anyway, that's it, no need for advice. I just need to pour this out. Get it off my chest, tell someone how I'm feeling, even if it's just strangers on the other side of the internet. Update number 1. I, Sebastian M. 39, lost my wife, Flora, F. 39. A few days ago, her funeral was yesterday and I did not attend. My family has been slamming me with calls ever since. I was going through my wife's things, looking for mementos, and getting on her phone to get pictures. This was 2 days before the funeral. When I got into her purse I found something I didn't expect. There was a second cell phone. It was passcode protected, but we had been together for 16 years, I could figure that out. This woman has been cheating on me since our first date. The most painful of it all is it appears her and Louis, my best friend, have been having an affair for a number of years. I don't even know how long it has been going. I'm sure there is a lot I don't know at this point. She has had this phone for 3.5 years. A lot of it was on Telegram, and some of those messages dated back to 2016. I have screenshot, saved, downloaded, just dozens and dozens of messages, pics, videos, files, just everything. I can't believe what I saw. I am so betrayed, that's why I didn't attend the funeral. After I got into the phonal I couldn't handle much. I took my kids to my parents' house, and just told them I needed some alone time to think and process. They understood and were fine with that. I stayed up almost all night reading Telegram messages. There wasn't just Lewis, she had active conversations with 2 other men as well, and archived conversations with 7 others. The thing is, there could be any number of conversations that have been deleted over the years. When I no-showed getting ready for the funeral, I started getting calls. I texted only my dad back and said, "I am fine, I am not going to hurt myself, so you do not have to worry, but I am not coming today." The funeral came and went. I just couldn't do it. I could not stand there and say or hear how great of a woman she was. She wasn't, she was a liar and cheater. When I no-showed, I started getting a lot of phone calls. My dad even stopped by my house. I left the door locked, and played like I wasn't home. He didn't try to come in or anything and eventually left. It was a few hours after that I got a text from Lewis. "Hey bud, I didn't see you at the funeral. Just checking on you, we can grab a beer and just chill if you need to let off some steam." I finally responded to a text. "How about you go fuck yourself, you traitorous cunt. Don't ever contact me again." He did not message me back, and I assume he knows the cat is out of the bag. I just don't know how I'm going to overcome this. You think you know someone, you think they love you, you think you've built a life. Then you find it was all bullshit, and you can't even take your anger out on them. Update number 2, I decided to go full nuclear. Fuck her reputation, fuck Lewis, fuck Joanna, fuck everybody. They all treated me like I was a joke. All these years lying to my face, betraying me in every way. At the time of my last posting, I had only gone through the Telegram messages. That second phone of hers had email accounts dating back to before we were dating. It had texts between her and Joanna. It had Reddit accounts I didn't know about. This bitch has been facilitating her cheating since day one. I still remember the time Flora said she was going to lunch with Joanna only for Joanna to show up at the house to drop something off. Sneaky bitch can think on her feet because she totally sold me on her lies. Faking that she forgot they were meeting and needed to hustle over to the cafe. How could I be so fucking naive? I figured out through all this that Lewis and Flora began having sex days before I asked her out, and never stopped. They have been having an affair for 16 years, right under my nose. He has dated others, gotten married, and divorced in that time. We've hung out countless times. We're each other's best man. She has been with at least a dozen other men during that span, I'm sure more than that. Every fucking teaching conference she ever went to, it looks like she hooked up with someone or brought someone with her. The videos are literally disgusting. She has pics, vids, sexting saved all over this device. She had a video of some fucking asshole blowing his load all over her engagement ring while she's wearing it. It's dated 3 days after I proposed. The most painful part, there are messages between her and Lewis that imply he may be the father of Rachel. I took my kids to get DNA tests finally last week. I wasn't going to, but the worry got to me. I have to know. I don't know what I will do if they are just side effects of her infidelity. They aren't happy with me anyway, neither is my family. They don't think I should have gone nuclear. What good does it do now, they said. Fuck that. Everyone should know what kind of woman she really was. I'm not protecting her image, listening to people say how wonderful of a person she was. She wasn't, she was just a conniving whore. I posted everywhere. I put together hundreds of texts, message, pics, censored, voice recording, everything I could into one big file. Then I posted it on all of socials, and all of Flora's. I tagged everyone I could. Lewis and Joanna for sure, even highlighted parts for everyone. A few other coworkers and friends who fucked her as well. Didn't want anyone to feel left out. Family, friends, I even tagged the school page. That has me on administrative leave for the time being. It also appears there's quite an investigation going on now. Firings are on the horizon as it looks like school grounds may have been used at times. I don't give a fuck what happens to that place. I'm leaving. I already made up my mind. I'm not staying in Eagle, I'm going to go far from here. At least I got the bitch's life insurance money. Once I get the DNA results back, I'm out. Update number 3. Nobody gets it, nobody. I, Sebastian M40, found out last year after she died that my wife Flora had been cheating on me for our entire relationship. She wasn't just having an affair with one other guy, she wasn't cheating because of all the problems in our marriage, there weren't any. She was cheating because she could. She was a cake eater. She roped me in, got me to fall for her. I was the good dad, the reliable, safe, supportive guy she could come home to every day. Over the years she worked me over to treating her like a queen. For that I got to find out that she used every opportunity possible to fuck other guys. They got all the crazy stuff she never wanted to do with me. We had an active sex life, but it was all lovemaking. Even if I asked, she always said she preferred to feel close to me. How someone can do all that she did, I will never understand. She is the most awful, disgusting, deceitful person I have ever met. I feel no remorse about showing the world exactly who she was. My only wish is that she was still alive to face it. Although I probably wouldn't even know still if she hadn't died. That's what hurts too. I don't get to confront her. I don't get to make her face her lies. Yes, I did blow up the lives of a lot of the people, notably my ex-best friend Lewis. But it just feels so unfinished. She has ruined so many lives. 3 people were fired from the school. I don't even know how many divorces and separations are happening. I know 2 friends of mine are now in divorce proceedings. Just the ultimate selfish bitch. What she has done to me, Hannah, and her kids though is by far the worst. I got all the DNA tests back shortly after my last posting. Only Hannah is my child. Rachel and Julia have the same father, Lewis. I was also able to find the evidence that he did know this. It kind of explains why he always seemed so much more supportive and interested in them than Wyatt or Hannah. Thanks to ancestry testing kits, we also figured out that Wyatt is the son of an assistant principal that worked at our school for 2 years before moving on to a different district. I made sure to post all the messages between him and Flora, along with the test results to his Facebook and his wife's Facebook. This is what has everyone up my ass at the moment. I honestly don't know what they all want from me. Rachel, Wyatt and Julia are not my kids. They are just these constant reminders that my dead wife was a deranged sociopath. I have moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico with Hannah. I did not bring the other 3 with me. I care about their well-being and hold them at no fault, but I do not love them anymore. They should have been raised by their own fathers. My parents have decided to take them in. Because of this I have gone no contact with my family. I only deal with them in regards to the legal matters at hand. I had immediately cut off my dead wife's side of the family the first time they brought up the concept of forgiveness. I will never forgive. Currently I am in the legal process of disowning Flora's 3 children. My parents did accept guardianship of them immediately and I have been paying child support. However, since I have clear evidence of who the biological fathers are, I have filed to end my child support of the 3 children. My lawyer thinks I have a very good chance of pulling this off. I am also searching for legal grounds in which to file suit against these 2 men in an effort to recoup some of the financial burden I have been under for the last 14 years. Since moving to Santa Fe, I have changed careers. I am now working as a loan officer, which not surprisingly pays quite a bit better than being a teacher. I have a small 1-bedroom apartment and the child support wipes out a lot of my funds every month. I am pushing to get my case resolved quickly so that I can begin to rebuild my life. Hannah has taken the transition hard. She is only 8 years old and doesn't fully understand why we moved or why she can't see Flora's children. To her they are her brother and sisters, but I have been trying to explain to her that they are not, and never were. They were simply byproducts of her mother's lies. We are adjusting? I would like to put her into therapy, but that won't be possible until I clear up these legal matters. I am only 40 years old now. I can still find someone to grow old with. I can still have more children of my own. It may take some time, but I'm not giving up on my life. I have a lot of good times ahead of me. Update number 4. My name is Sebastian M60. I have been with my wonderful wife Olga F57 for the last 19 years. Technically we are not married. I refuse to ever get married again, but we do refer to each other as husband and wife. We have 2 sons together, Kurt, M18, and Lee, M15. For the most part the last 20 years of my life have been pretty good. I have a very committed and loving relationship with Olga. We met when I was at my lowest. My first wife had died suddenly, and in the aftermath of her passing I learned that she was a pathological cheater. She had cheated with many people in my life, and 3 of her children were fathered by other men. However, she led me to believe that they were my children. As it turned out, only our youngest child Hannah was my only biological child. Hannah lived with me until she was 18 years old and moved out when she went to college. She had some troubles during her adolescent years, which was to be expected after the damage that her mother caused her. She rebounded though, and we have had a pretty solid relationship. Most of the friction we did have centered around the feelings she had for her half-siblings and grandparents. It took a long time to get her to understand. The last 10 to 12 years or so though have been good, and largely devoid of any mention of the past. When I met Olga it was like everything turned around. I won a number of legal battles that allowed me to move on from my past. These 2 events have been the catalyst that has allowed me to live to the fullest for the last 20 years. My family and I have visited every continent, except Antarctica. We love to travel and experience the world. My sons and I have a bond that I have always cherished. It began before they were even born. My wife, knowing the trauma of my past marriage, had them both paternity tested in utero just to ease my mind. There is no chance they are someone else's. Hannah has been a good big sister to them. This leads me to my biggest issue in many years. Hannah and I have built a good relationship, after the rough patch I mentioned above. When she graduated high school, she went to New Mexico State University in Las Cruces. She did very well and graduated after 4 years. She found a job there and has lived in Las Cruces since then. She still came home during breaks in college and for the whole summer. Since graduating, I get to see her about 4 times a year. I make one trip down a year and she comes home on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Memorial Weekend. I'm saying all this to show that we do have a great relationship, and we're able to overcome all the chaos caused by her mother. The issue is, she apparently reconnected with her half-siblings about 4 years ago. I had no idea. I also can't understand how she can do this, knowing how much distress this would cause me. As it turns out, she also reconnected with my father. He is the only grandparent she has that is still alive. From what I understand, he is still doing fairly well for a man of 83 years. I could maybe get past this. Live a don't ask don't tell situation between her and them. Yet, the other half of this is unacceptable. 2.5 years ago, Hannah met her fiancé Tony. They don't work together, but the places they work at are next to each other. I like Tony a lot. He treats Hannah well and is an upstanding young man. Their wedding is set for 1 month from now. I have minimally contributed to her wedding. Tony's family comes from some wealth, not world-changing, but they are doing very well. With that being the case, and him being the one that really wants a large wedding, his family is huge. He has 6 siblings, and something like 25 first cousins. They are largely footing the bill. As the father of the bride, I am obviously on task to walk her down the aisle, give a speech, and have a daddy-daughter dance. Hannah, however, just informed me that she has invited Rachel, Wyatt, Julia, and my father to the wedding. I am 100% against this and have made this known to her. I do not want any contact with these people. That especially goes for my father, who chose my cheating whore ex-wife's children over me. The other 3 I hold no ill will towards. It was their mother's doing, but at the same time I have no desire to see them. It's just too painful. I think what is also causing me some level of uneasiness is that my sons seem to think I should put the past behind me. I will never forgive, I will never forget. They think I should just be there for Hannah on this one day. My wife is largely supportive of me and has told me that I do not have to attend if I do not wish to. That I have made my feelings clear to Hannah, and that it is now in her hands to make a decision. She will not attend if I choose not to. This is dredging up all sorts of negative emotions I haven't had to deal with in a long time. I hate the idea of missing my daughter's wedding, but I cannot in good conscience be around those associated with the worst period of my life. I just think I need help in figuring out how best to get Hannah to see the error in this. How do I get her to understand once again? Update number 5, even after being dead for 20 years, that fucking cunt finds a way to fuck my life. About 2 weeks ago now, my daughter Hannah had her wedding. In the weeks leading up, I made it abundantly clear that I was not comfortable having her half-siblings or my father attend. It all came to a head with a big argument between Hannah and I 10 days before the wedding. She called me selfish and weak. I pushed back and she just opened this floodgate, telling me how awful I was for cutting her off from her entire life. That she was 8 years old and had just lost her mother when her father suddenly went on a personal mission to destroy every positive memory anyone had of her. That she justified all my actions, and tried to understand my point of view, but deep down always resented me for taking her away from her entire family, her home, everything. I couldn't believe this onslaught, after everything I had done to get her to understand. Her mother was a despicable human, anyone who would side with her was equally as disgusting. The only thing that saved Hannah was that she was also half me. Apparently that wasn't enough, and now she was choosing others over me as well. I told her I wouldn't be attending her wedding at all. Hannah hung up the phone at that point and we haven't spoken since. As painful as that was, the greater betrayal came at the hands of my own sons. They still attended the wedding. My wife and I stayed behind, but they said they were going to support their sister. They even took my place. Kurt walked Hannah down the aisle. Lee gave a speech. I know this because Kurt sent me the wedding video diary yesterday. I wasn't going to watch it, but curiosity got the best of me. He only sent it to me to twist the knife. I was so angry after they spurned me and when I told them they were cut off. I told Kurt he was to move out. I couldn't get rid of Lee but told him he was dead to me now. He had the next 2.5 years to prep because the day he turned 18 he would be leaving too. That's when Olga, who had been supportive up until that moment, intervened. She told me I wasn't kicking them out, and that I would be leaving before her sons would. We got into a huge argument and I left the house. I have been staying in a rental unit I own for the past 10 days. Today, I received a buyout offer on our home. Olga is leaving me. She says she has been understanding of my pain for 20 years. That she always believed I was a good man who had something terrible done to me. She said she knows she was wrong. Yes, what happened to me was terrible, but I am not a good man. That seeing it firsthand, how easily I can throw people away, has forever changed her opinion of me. Well, fuck her. They just don't get it. They will never get it. None of them. That fucking whore didn't just cheat. She humiliated me. She fucked my friends, my coworkers. She tricked me into raising her bastard children. There is nothing worse than that. Everything about her is vile. Everything that came from her, everyone she tainted. I'll accept that buyout. I'll sell my 2 rentals. I'll start over again. I'm moving on. I've been able to retire for a few years now, and that's just what I will do. Then I'm heading for somewhere far from all these traitors. I can't believe she is still doing this to me. She's dead. I destroyed her name, cut off everyone who defended her, dumped her ashes, moved far from our tainted home. And yet here I am, all alone, with everyone turning their backs on me. Flora, you sick bitch, I guess you got the last laugh after all. Story 2. Eta for yelling at a person with special needs at the gym. I, am 29, have been going to the same gym for the past 10 years. There are a number of trainers that appear to work exclusively with people that have special needs, both physically and mentally. They work in one-to-one sessions, trainers showing them how to use each machine safely and putting together an exercise program for them, and they're also often accompanied by a guardian. I want to say straight away that I have zero issues with this at all. I love going to the gym, and it's great to see others enjoying it too. As long as everyone is working out in a safe way, everything is fine. I've seen what I would call a few near misses, with weights being dropped close to others, or machines being used improperly, but I've never seen anyone be seriously hurt. So today I entered the gym and walked past a trainer I hadn't seen before. She was with a guy that I had seen a few times before. I'm not sure what his condition is, so I apologize if any of the following sounds offensive. I don't intend for it to, I'm just explaining what happened. As I walked past, he was loudly counting the number of reps he was doing on the leg press. I continued over to the dumbbells, got set up at a bench, and started my workout. After a couple of sets, the guy came over and stood just next to my bench, about a meter away from me, just staring at me. His trainer was still over at the leg press on her phone. It was a little awkward with him standing there, but he wasn't in my way, so I don't say anything. As soon as I pick up the weight from the bench, he sits down on the bench. As I noticed what he was doing, I just said, "I'm using that bench, mate," but he proceeds to start doing sit-ups and again loudly counts them out. So this guy is lying back on my towel, wallet, and phone. I repeat again, "Mate, I'm using this one," as I put down the weights and try to pull my belongings out from under his sweaty back. I guess hearing the counting, the trainer notices what happened and came over and apologizes. I just give a nod but don't say anything. I wasn't exactly impressed that she wasn't keeping a better eye on him. I moved a few benches over, and thought that was the end of it. Next I was on the bench press, so holding a large amount of weight over my chest. The guy comes over again and stands right next to bench in line to my face, right where I need to put the weights back on the rack, just staring down at me. Again, I said calmly, "You need to move, mate, I need to put the weight down." He just stared at me half smiling. I asked him twice more, and he just continued staring, not a single sign that he had understood or even heard me. So I called out loudly for help. Luckily the trainer heard, again coming over to apologize and pull him out of the way. I put the weight back, and then said to her that she needs to keep an eye on him, because he's going to end up getting himself seriously hurt. Some time passes without incident. They're on the other side of the gym, and I'm on one of the cable machines doing tricep pushdowns. I get to my last rep of my last set, and just as I push down, 50 kilograms 110 pounds of metal raised in the air, from out of nowhere this guy lets out a huge scream, and lunges at the raised weight stack in front of me. Now this is what went through my head in the moment. I'm on my last rep, so I probably had about 2 seconds that I could hold the weight before my muscles failed and the weight came crashing down. With that weight, there was a good chance that he would be seriously injured, lost, crushed finger, broken hand, arm, etc. I knew that my last attempts of speaking calmly had yielded zero response from him, and I didn't have time to call for his negligent trainer to come and help. I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Get away from it!" The guy jumped back like he'd had the fright of his life. I lowered the weights, and immediately turned around, enraged and looking for the trainer. Well, she was already on the way over, no doubt because she'd heard me yell. "What the hell are you doing? Did you see what he just did?" I ask, as the guy starts loudly crying. She comes over and asks why I would yell at him, since he doesn't know any better. I again asked if she'd seen what happened, and that he was almost seriously hurt. And yeah, he didn't know better, which is exactly why she should have been there to watch him. I guess the guy's guardian, maybe his mother, unsure, had heard everything as well. She came in, and the trainer immediately tells her that I yelled at him for standing too close. I tried explaining that he was almost seriously hurt, and that he wasn't being supervised properly. We went back and forth, but both the trainer and guardian were not satisfied with my explanation, calling me an asshole for raising my voice to him like that. Next thing I know, they've called one of the other trainers from the gym, who told me to leave, and that they'd be suspending my membership, before I was able to explain to him my side of the story. I plan to speak to the manager or another trainer tomorrow, and I'm hoping that it was captured clearly enough on CCTV that I can get my membership back. I know from the title of this post it sounds bad, but with everything else I don't really think I had any other option. Am I the asshole? New update. Thank you everyone for the advice. I'm a stress head, so I was playing the events over and over in my head all last night. Your comments helped keep me calm and feel more positive about the whole thing, so for the update. I went by the gym this morning and asked to speak to a manager about what happened yesterday. They agreed to see me. I explained everything as I had in my post, and asked if they could review the CCTV to see what actually happened, and possibly reinstate my membership. I said that I believed the trainer yesterday had misrepresented what happened, as a lot of you pointed out, to hide the fact that she was not neglecting the guy she was meant to be supervising. Surprisingly, he said that this wasn't the first time they had received complaints about that trainer. He said she'd only been there 2 weeks, and has already had a complaint from both a client and another trainer from the gym. Though, he didn't go into detail about what those complaints were. He said to leave it with him, and he'd get back to me. About an hour ago I got a call from the manager, saying he'd reviewed the footage and it was consistent with my story. The first 2 interactions I had with him, with the dumbbells and on the bench press, were clear in the footage. The third time was apparently obscured by some other equipment, but he said it was enough to see the guy approach me from behind without the trainer, and he was willing to take my word about what happened next. My gym membership had been reinstated, and they've given me the next 2 months free. I think I'll be putting that money I saved towards a nice bottle of whiskey. He also said not to worry about the trainer. She won't be around anymore. So I think it's safe to assume she lost her job. Hopefully this is a wake-up call for her, and she won't be putting anyone else in harm's way in the future. Thank you again all for the support and advice. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you enjoyed our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest ones. Have a great day.